Hey, I'm Elazon, and I just wanted to show you real quick what we did for this setup right now. So we're here on set right now, and actually we have a couple of different lights. So you'll see a variety of lights here. There's actually 4 that we're using. You can kind of get an idea of this here. First of all, we're using our basic kind of 3-point lighting setup. We wanted to go for somewhat of a Rembrandt lighting technique. If you're not familiar with Rembrandt lighting, I'm just going to throw this up on here real quick so you can see where this comes from. I won't get too technical, but basically if you see the light fall off, there's almost like this triangle on the opposite side, or the dark side if you will. And this is kind of what we were going for. Not too contrasty, but just enough for this style shoot. And what you see is going to be this negative fill, which is just our floppy that's set up here. It's a 48 by 48, but it extends to 4 by 8. We also have our key light, which is the Godox VL300 with the Lantern 90. And we have that pretty much just on a C-stand right off to our camera left. And as you might notice, today is a bit of a cloudy day, but we wanted to bring in a little bit of interesting lighting with the Aperture 600D, which is just right outside of these windows here, which is pretty much just showing us the somewhat of a harder light coming in the back, just to add a little bit of depth, just that little spigot, if you will. Besides that, we do have a fill light for just ambient lighting in this room, just to pick up overall room tone. And that is the VL300 as well, and it's just the reflector dish right on top of it, shining right at the ceiling to just fill in the overall space. That VL300 is also helping up bring this logo that you see in the shot. And jumping back to the 600D for one sec, if you look closely at these tables, they're actually being lit by the 600D. Otherwise, it would be a lot darker inside than what it currently is. And lastly, we have the Aperture 120D right behind me, acting as that hair light, or that backlight, if you will. And it's just with the Fresnel, 2x Fresnel by Aperture, and that's pretty much our setup today. And real quick, just want to go over this diagram showing you our basic setup. So it was a very cloudy day. There was not a lot of sun, that's why it's dimmed down here. But then if you look over at how this jumps, very first thing we did is we set up our angle. We set up our shot pretty much what we wanted. We plotted down the camera. We knew we were going to be on tripods. We knew we needed 2 cameras, so that's what we set up. Then additionally, we added a Aperture 600D outside. We added the backlight just to let them pop. We added a key light in order to bring up, obviously, their overall exposure. We also added this negative fill, and we added one more light, which was just for room tone, which I mentioned earlier, and that's what you see currently. That's pretty much our setup. If you do have any questions, let me know. You can accomplish this with a lot less, but given the circumstances, this is what we decided to do today for somewhat of a corporate, but not too corporate look, if you will. We wanted to add a little bit of dimension to it, and that's what we went with. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. And don't forget, if you enjoyed what you watched today, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.